I just happened to look or watch at a video that I posted almost 4 years ago, and I talk about chronic illness while trying to work. And then I'm thinking about perimenopause and menopause, and truly it actually does feel like a chronic illness at times. Or you wonder if some women should be able to get like a disability because they just can't go to work. Anyways, I'll talk about this topic a little bit more, and I will keep something kind of fun for at the end of the video, something I did yesterday, but I want to show you because I just think it's funny. Anyways, so yeah, if we think about working while going through perimenopause, if perimenopause for you can last 7 to 10 years, let's say, that's a long time to try to accomplish like work while having to pee constantly, maybe poo, maybe bleed in a way that's not your typical normal. So like heavy bleeding if you're at work in an office, it must be like beyond hard to manage. I can't even fathom that thought. I'm at home, and it's a really good thing I've been working from home, because I don't know, like half the time I have a heat pad either on my belly or on my back. I'm peeing all the time. You need to stay hydrated, but the more I drink water, the more I pee. And then some days I might be productive in the morning, but some other times I might be productive more in the evening. And it's just kind of like, how do you manage that? And plus, if you're have anxiety or you're constantly overwhelmed, just the thought of traveling to work, if it takes you, an hour or two every day, that's time that either you could have spent with your family or you could have rested in order to make yourself feel better, and or you could have exercised for your health. And then when you have body pain, wherever the pain may be, so let's say you're bleeding and you're constantly cramping, and how do you go to a client meeting when you're like either bleeding and or just experiencing pain or discomfort? Of course you can take meds, but it's not the best solution on a daily basis for years and years and years and years. I don't know. If you're watching this and you are currently going through perimenopause, or you are even postmenopausal and you're still experiencing symptoms, how do you keep a job? Like, seriously. I know for myself, I'm so thankful that I was able to, along with my husband, make the decision not to go back to an actual office. At times, of course, I miss being in an office. I really miss interacting with people, but at the same time, it's just easier for me to do so from the comfort of my own home. It's quiet for the most part, most of the time. I get to pick and choose the type of work I want. I am a professional graphic designer, but I'm also a food blogger, and I don't know, just having the flexibility to create my own schedule has been really, really nice. And I talk about it in a video from 4 years ago. And at the time, I swear, I didn't even think of perimenopause. I didn't think of it because I kept thinking, I'm not in menopause, I'm still bleeding. So I didn't consider that as a possibility for what I was going through. I really didn't. And did you know that? Well, if you're perimenopausal, of course you know, but at some point in your little journey, you're going to experience some days where you just smell. You'll be like, what is that horrible smell? And it's going to be you, and and they smell like horrible, like onion, or just like, anyways, I can't even explain it, but I did go through a phase of that, but it's not happening anymore. But I think it has to do with your hormones fluctuating, and then depending on what you're eating and your stress level, then if you're anxious, you sweat, and then your sweat is just beyond like nothing. Like I don't even wear deodorant most of the time because I don't have body odor, and I just prefer not to. And let me tell you, I was grabbing anything at that time just to improve the smell of my pits. Or washing them, just because I could not even tolerate the smell. And speaking of smells, that's another weird thing. when you're sensitive, going through this phase of your life, it is very likely that people's perfumes or just their breath, or if they're smokers and like anything, you're going to be so more sensitive to aromas. Even something that you used to like, it'll become like unbearable. Anyways, I don't want to keep this video too long because today I actually have work to do and I need to get back to work. But I'm 9 days of taking HRT. I have been experiencing some morning cramps, and I had that before starting, but I feel like it's worse. And it occurred to me that when you have a bulky uterus, which is also known as adenomyosis or adenomyosis, however you want to pronounce it, I'm guessing if you're giving yourself estrogen all of a sudden, it's probably feeding that issue a little bit, right? So I feel like it's kind of like almost like contractions, or it's competing with my bowels. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to keep paying attention to it because I'm sure it's normal at this point, but if it ever got worse, it's definitely something I'm going to bring up with my doctor, which she is the one that prescribed me the hormones. I am supposed to get a follow-up at the 3-month, when I reach 3 months, which is normally, I think, very typical for anyone starting with hormones. And okay, so the funny thing I wanted to show you. So I received a gift from a brand a few days ago, and I actually thought it was a copy of my book that I ordered from a different location just to check the quality, and it was a product. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So it was these jars of either like caramelized onions or pre-chopped garlic or onions in jars. I've actually never bought that, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll make one of my latest spread recipes, and in half the batch I'll put some caramelized onions. So I just want to show you what like a normal loaf looked, because I made mini loaves. So this was like a smaller loaf, okay, which is, it's really delicious. I had the other kind I put caramelized onions. Okay, so I ate some of it. It's really delicious. This is like the one that I actually sliced. I don't know if I can like show it clearer, but anyway, so then this other loaf had a mind of its own. Again, I received this product from a brand for Valentine's Day. So the packaging had hearts and whatnot. So in this loaf, I put the caramelized onions. It was beautiful, but then somehow on the other side, the loaf had a mind of its own. On my other blog, or on my other channel, I will post what this product was, because obviously it did wonders for this bread. Anyways, just something new to lighten the mood on Valentine's Day, because today is February 14th. Anyways, another weird but update, and I hope you're doing well and enjoy your weekend. See you soon.